Hey there, savvy home buyers and sellers. This is Jeff O'Leary, the Village Guru, Mississauga real estate broker. And in today's video, I'm going to go over the top 5 misleading advertisements in real estate. This video is good for everybody, buyers or sellers, because you're going to want to understand that not everything is what it seems. So without further ado, let's get right into it. As a real estate broker, I notice all real estate advertising. I mean, I can't help it. It's the industry I'm in. Now, I see some really good advertising, and then I see some not good advertising. But today, what I want to talk about is actually misleading advertising, because there's a ton of it in the industry. And I think as a consumer, you need to understand when something sounds too good to be true, or it's not quite what it is. So let's get right into it. Number 1, guaranteed sales program. Guys, this trick has been going on for the last 30, 40 years. And there's a lot of trainers out there teaching real estate salespeople to offer the guaranteed sales program. You might have saw it on a sign or a billboard, and it goes something like this: I'll sell your house in 60 days or I'll buy it. Now think about it for a minute. Your real estate person, if they had to buy every client's house that was for sale, well, then why are they in the business of selling real estate? See, the reality is they very rarely, if ever, actually buy their client's house. And if it ever gets to the point where they're going to buy your house, trust me, they're making such a killing off it that they're going to turn around and flip it the next day. Because on any of these ads, if you notice the fine print, it might say star, 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 and you're going to have like 30 different conditions. And one of the conditions is basically, hey, I'll write you up an offer on your house, but I need an appraisal. And then on top of that appraised value, I'm going to make you an offer, say 10% below that appraised value, to cover my costs of either flipping it to my investor friends or buying it myself and turning it a profit. So let me break it down in realistic numbers. Say you have a house that's worth $700,000. Maybe it needs a little bit of work and it had a hard time selling, and you see this ad for I'm guaranteed to sell your house or I'll buy it. Now, it can be pretty tempting because maybe you got to move in the next couple of months. So you call this guy up, he comes in and he goes, okay, I will appraise your house and I'll give you an offer if we can't sell the house. So if your house is worth 7, he may come in, it gets appraised at 680. So he'll turn around and offer you 610. At 610,000, he knows, or she as a professional, that they can turn around and flip that house anyway. But what's worse is now if you agree to that agreement, you've basically told him, I'll sell it for anything above 610, which would be wrong. So if he brings you an offer for 615, what are you going to say? Well, I'll buy it for 610. This is better. Do you get what I mean? At the end of the day, it's just a marketing ploy to get into your door and start the high pressure sales tactics. So be aware of the guaranteed sales programs. Misleading advertising. Number 2, inflated sales statistics. Real estate agents are always struggling to differentiate themselves from the hundreds of millions of other ones in the universe. And one way they do that is by teaming up and inflating sales statistics. Have you ever noticed that you'll see realtors saying, I'm the #1 agent in this town and I sell 500 homes a year or whatever? Guys, I'll be honest, it's impossible as one salesperson to sell that many houses. If you just calculate the hours involved and the labor involved, it doesn't work that way. What they do is they build teams where the one team leader takes all the credit for all the sales of the entire group and then is able to go out there and advertise it as if they personally sold all those houses. Let me give you an analogy that'll explain it. If you like hockey, let's say you take the Maple Leafs, and Austin Matthews is the best player on the team right now. Now, he may score 40 goals, 45 goals a year, and he's an all-star, a great player. Now, what happens if I told you that Austin Matthews took all the credit for all the goals on the entire team, and he actually scored 400 goals a year? Well, I think you would actually just flat out call me a liar, right? But that's exactly what's happening in the real estate industry. They're taking all the sales stats for everybody on their team and they're putting it into one person. So when we're talking about sales statistics, just be aware, are they your sales statistics or are they the entire team? At the end of the day, I'm not anti-team, but as consumers, I think sometimes we get confused as to what actually someone is doing. Misleading advertising. Number 3, if you buy this house, I'll buy yours. It's pretty much the same as the guaranteed sales program. Basically, they're trying to sell a house that they're having a hard time selling. And in that case, they'll offer to buy yours, which really means I'll buy yours once I've tried to sell yours. And at the same time, again, if I actually have to buy it, it's going to be for way below market value. That way I can flip it and make a profit. So again, be wary. There's no such thing as guarantees in real estate, only numbers and facts. Misleading sales advertising number 4, for sale by owner companies. I couldn't leave them out, guys. I mean, I'm honest, I trash on everybody. I love for sale by owner companies because they're in a real battle with realtors. I mean, I get it. If I was running one of those companies, I'd be trashing all my competitors too. And one way they do it is by constantly referring to how much money you save in commission if you sell the house through their services. But here's the deal, guys, and this is something they don't disclose to you, a couple of really cute things. Number 1, there's a lot of statistics from the National Association of Realtors. You can go on MLS and pull the numbers. If you're for sale by owner, you're probably selling for lower than you are through a realtor. So you got to keep that in mind when you're selling the house. Number 2, and something that they never talk about, is that a lot of times there's a buyer agent involved with a for sale by owner. So when someone goes on one of those companies that list their house for sale on the MLS, more than not, another agent, a buyer agent, is going to come with their client. So you're ending up paying a commission anyway, and that's fine because maybe you save a little bit on the selling side, but it's not as much as they claim because they always pick the highest commission possible and they say you're going to save all of it. When in reality, maybe you're only saving 1-2%. Okay. So you got to be really clear. At the end of the day, if you want to sell your house, knock your socks off. I wish you all the best of luck. Offer a commission. And if I have a buyer, we're willing to do a deal. Just be wary that these savings most of the time are not as big as these companies are claiming. Finally, misleading advertising number 5, inaccurate information on the MLS. Home buyers tend to think that the MLS is gospel truth. And the problem is the MLS is filled out by the real estate agent. So the biggest things I see that are misleading are square footage all the time. I see taxes misled. And I see other factors such as condo fees kind of fudge. Ooh, I forgot about that raise in condo fees. Be aware that while the MLS is a good guide, you need to always double check all your facts and figures before you offer on a house. That means your real estate person needs to go to public records and pull the square footage. That means they need to confirm the taxes because savvy realtors know is some investors look at the taxes as an indication of value. So if they lie on them and say there are more taxes, then some buyers will assume that property is valued more. So be very careful. Always verify the information and don't take anything off MLS as more than just a guide. Well, there you have it. I hope you enjoyed my video on 5 misleading ways that advertising happens in real estate. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and share it with your friends. I'm Jeff O'Leary, the Village Guru. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you soon.